Hello everyone, Lila's Gigi here, and today I'm going to bring you the TRIGON bracelet. Name credit goes to Looming_Mama, I believe. The looming artist created this. I'm not even sure when. I probably should have checked, but it's really, really pretty and super simple. Has triangles in it, and you will need stretchy bands for that. So I'm going to use my metallic, which seems to work really well. They seem to stretch pretty nicely, and then the metallics, as you stretch them, they don't always go back exactly the way they were originally, but eventually they do, and it just makes it easier to straighten the bands if I use something like the metallic. So that's what we're going to use. So let's go over to Andrea's account. I don't know why it's taking, there they go. Pop over to Instagram and take a look at her photos. She has some awesome designs on here. Still working on getting some of them out, and I believe she has some other people getting them out also. So hop on over to Instagram, like her photos, and give her a follow for me. And that's the Looming Artist. Awesome. So give me just a moment and I will, well, let me tell you what the setup is. Down in the middle, up on both sides, and then up on both sides, so it will be a V. Okay, and I will be right back. Okay, so I am back, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a closure band here, and I'm going to use black up the sides. So, excuse me, just lay your border band to the right, straight up, okay, go over to the other side, starting from the center, diagonal to the left, straight up and straight up. And what you, oops, that one flew, I don't even know where it went. Oh, there it is. When you get to the top, 3 pins, you'll stop 3 pins from the top on the outside here, and then you will bring them in together like this, okay? So go ahead and finish that, and I will be back with you. Okay, so I'm back, and I stopped 3 pins from the top and brought them in to the center, okay? And make sure you've pushed your bands down. As you go along, you know, and you're laying them, you can push your bands down, but, and I try to do that, but of course it doesn't always work out that way for me. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is lay these bands, and I think they are the glitter gold. Okay, so we're going to do triangles on first pin bar, first pin to the right. I said triangles. Oh my goodness, I got them on the brain. Diagonals. So diagonal to the right, diagonal up to the left, and diagonal up and to the right. Okay, so go ahead and finish this up on that side, and we're going to do the exact same thing, mirror image on the other side. First pin, last pin bar, so diagonal to the left, up into the right, diagonal up into the left, and diagonal up into the right. So go ahead and finish those zigzags all the way to the end of your loom, and I will be back with you. Okay, so I am back, and I wanted to lay some beads in this, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. If you are not laying beads, please by all means, you know, skip to the next section, okay? So it will be triangles for the next section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, let's see, 1, 2, 3, oh, let's start over here, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to lay a bead from here, come on, across, okay? You don't have to do that. I just wanted to try something a little bit different here, and hopefully when I loop these back up, this is not going to be in the way. You know, I don't want it to, they're going to be looped back to each other. So I wanted to make sure that I did not catch this zigzag when I was looping it back, because I want it to look right on the sides. So I'm going to go skip this one right here and go up to the next one. So every other one I'm laying beads on, okay? I'll do that one more time. So I'm skipping this one and going up to this one. So you may or may not lay beads. I just wanted to try something a little bit different. I looked at all of the examples and renditions, and I did not see any with beads. And if you know me, you know I like to use a lot of bling. These beads, I don't know if you saw my haul that I did previously. I took one of the bracelets apart and decided to use these beads. Now, yes, I have silver in here, and I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but we can always hope for the best, right? So I'm going to go ahead and lay those beads. Again, if you're not laying beads, you can ignore this section. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back, and the last thing I did was I laid these zigzags on both sides. And this is what your loom should look like. Okay? All right, so let's get to the next step. The next step is going to be triangles. So we're going to, actually the next two steps will be triangles. So I don't like my bands to twist. So what I do is I just lay them single bands, excuse me, straight up, and we'll just do 3 of them. So then so that's the second pin bar, first pin, okay? And then same thing on this side. We'll go up, up, and one more, up. And then what I do, you can lay them normally, of course, just lay your triangles like you would a normal triangle. And what I'll do is go in and just bring it over. Same thing for the other side. Go in and just drop it over. It keeps my bands straighter, so there's less. I mean, I'm still going to have to make some adjustments at the end for the bands because they always twist, but it just makes it easier to lay those bands. Okay, so go ahead and do your triangles on the second pin bar to the center, and then the fourth pin bar to the center will look like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish mine, and I will be back with you. So I am back, and the last thing I did was I laid this triangle here and this triangle here. Now we're going to do another set of triangles. This is what your loom should look like. If you did not lay the beads, you will not have the beads in the center, and that's fine. Okay, so let me get this to where I need it to be. I don't want it to fall off the end of my table. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to lay, starting in the center, we're going to lay a triangle. Just see how I have a problem with those, and then they're not straight. So we're going to lay a triangle up the center and then out to the left and up the center and out to the right. Okay, just pushing those down. The other one will go, and I'm actually going to lay mine like this, and I'm going to take that top one and just pull it over. It just keeps them straighter. You know, you can do them any way you want. I just prefer to do them like that. So I'm going to actually lay that one and bring it over to the left. Going to lay the next one and bring it over to the right. Okay, just keeps them straighter. I don't know, maybe I'm a little OCD that way, I don't know. I just like them straight, prefer them to be straight. Okay, I'm going to lay one more. And you don't need to use your hook, you can just do them by hand, that's fine. But I'm going to do them like this. Okay, and then I'm going to lay my next one. All right, so go ahead and finish those triangles all the way up to the top, and then I will meet you back here when you're done. Okay, so I'm back, and the last thing I did was I laid this triangle right here and this triangle right here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take single bands and place them up the center. And I think I said I was going to go ahead and do a double border, so I will do that at this time also. So all you want to do, middle pin, straight up. And I've pushed my bands down, so hopefully they're going to be okay. See how I am with these? Oh my goodness. I want them to be straight. I know they're going to get crooked, but I just want them straight. Okay, so straight up, put that down because I don't need it, and straight up. So do your single bands all the way up the center, and then when you're finished with that, come back and we will lay the double border just like you did before, just out to the right, and straight up. I just wanted to add some white to this because the beads have white in them. That's why I went ahead and went with the white. So come back down, grab the other end of this, out to the left, straight up, and straight up. So go ahead and finish your single bands up the center, and then finish your perimeter bands, and I will be back with you. Okay, so I am back. I laid my single bands up the center, and then I did my perimeter bands and brought them together right there. So now it's time to turn our loom around. Yay! Excuse me. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a cap band right here, and I usually lay triple. Let's see if this will cooperate with me. Okay, perfect. All right, so what we're going to do, if you laid the double border, what we want to do is we want to loop our border band, the top border bands out right now. Okay, so out and to the left, go in, grab the top band, which should be that border band if you laid the double border, and just bring them back to themselves. Okay, and do that all the way up the loom. Come back to the other side, grab the next top band, which should, okay, so that wasn't it. Alrighty, let's try this again. I have a feeling I may have, oh, let me just check. No, it is on top. Okay. So let's go in here, grab that top band. Well, not the black one. Let's see, I'm just not at a really good angle where I can easily grab that band. I still think I got, yes, I have to. All right, so you get to watch me struggle, which of course is nothing new, right? All righty, I think I got it. Yes, I got it that time. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring those border bands back to themselves all the way up to the end of your loom. Meet them in the middle. And then I will be back with you when I finish that. Okay, so I am back and I finished the border bands up to the center here. And this is what your loom should look like. Okay, we are now going to do the center bands straight up. Very simple. Go in through the cap band, grab the top band, and bring it straight up. The next one, straight up, and your next one, straight up. So do that all the way up to the end of your loom, and I will be back with you. Okay, so I am back. Very simply laid these single bands straight up, and I pushed all my bands down, the border bands and the center bands, okay? Alrighty, so this is what your loom should look like. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to loom up the top triangles, which are, in my case, the silver ones here. Okay, so you're going to go in, grab the band that's on the top. Hopefully, I'm going to actually go to the side. It might be easier for me to get them. And you're going to loop them back to each other. First the left side, go in and grab the next one, which is on the right side. Okay, just like that. Middle pin bar, second pin, go in, grab, I want to make sure I'm grabbing the right one. Grab the top band, loop it back to itself, like so. Go in and grab the next one and loop it back to itself, just like that. I'll do that with you one more time. Hopefully I'm on camera. Grab the band, loop it back, and see, this is why I say you need stretchy bands. You can see how it's pulling it pretty tightly there. Okay, go in, grab the next one, and loop it back to itself. So do those triangles, the top triangle, which in my case is this silver one, right here. That's the one that's on top. loop them back to themselves, and I'll meet you back here as soon as I'm done. So I am back, and the last thing I did was I laid that triangle back to itself and this one back to itself, and I also pushed my bands down. You want to make sure that you push your bands down because you don't want anything popping off, okay? So it's getting a little wobbly, a little tight, so it's a little snug, and I'm sure that will be just fine. So now what we're going to do, we're going to loop the next set of triangles back to themselves. Those are the ones that are on the bottom. I'm going to reach in, grab that triangle, and, well, come on, bring it back to itself. Last one on that pin, bring it back. So 1, 2, third one up, you're going to go in, grab the next triangle on the top, should be the one that goes to the left, loop it back, grab the last one, and looping it back to itself. Okay, I'll do this with you one more time. This triangle right here, I'm going to reach in, grab that triangle, and loop it back. Go in, grab the other end of that triangle, and loop it back to itself. Okay, so it should look like this. When you're done, they're actually going back to these 2 pins right here. Okay, so go ahead and finish that, and well, I may as well show you now while we're here. If you laid the bead, okay, I'm just going to show you the one time because it should be fine. If you happen to have laid a bead in here, before you loop up these zigzags on the side, you want to go in, grab that band that has the bead on it, and loop it back to itself. Over to the other side. So if you laid it across here, you'll go and grab this one, loop it across here, go in and grab, I have to get past all of these to get that, making sure that you do not go under that zigzag band, because if you do, it's going to throw your zigzags off. Okay, and then I'm just looping it back to itself like that. So if you happen to have laid the beads, then this is that right here's what you want to do. You want to go in here, grab the beaded band, bring it to itself, go in here, grab the other side of that beaded band, and bring it back to itself. Okay, so I'm only going to show you that once because not everybody laid the beads. So if you need to rewind to see how to do that, go right ahead. Otherwise, finish up your triangles by looping them back to themselves over here. And then I will be back with you when I'm finished. Okay, so I am back, and the last thing I did was the triangles that were here, I looped them back across these 2 pins, and this one across these 2 pins. Now, this is what your loom should look like. If you did not lay bands, a bead, you will not have this, okay? Just saying, I happen to lay beads, so I have that on there. All right. So we're almost done with this. Very easy bracelet, and it has gotten a little bit tighter. Excuse me. So what we want to do now is we want to loop up the zigzags back to themselves. First bar, first pin, bring it back. And I pushed my bands down, but I don't know if I pushed them down enough. So go in, grab the other zigzag. Go into the second pin on the first pin bar, diagonal to the right, into the bottom, pull it out, diagonal to the left. And then in one more, making sure to grab the diagonal only and not the border band. Okay? So zigzag all the way up to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. I'm going to go over to the other side and do the exact same thing. We did not need cap bands because we put a double border on here. Now, if you did not lay this double border, you will need a cap band there, okay? I laid the border, so I did not need that cap band because that border serves as my cap band. Okay, diagonal up to the right, reach in, grab the top band only, Sandy, diagonal up and to the left, go in, last band on that pin, diagonal up to the right. So do your zigzags right from the right to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, all the way to the end of your loom. And then let's see, you know what? While I'm here, I've done several of them, so let me finish up a couple of these and then we'll work on the border, okay? And I will do what I probably do what I do most of the time now is I will take this off of the loom up to a certain point and then come back and show you how to close it and then take it off the loom completely. Okay, so what we want to do then, once you've finished with your zigzags, you want to come back in. Oh, I just broke a band. That's too bad. All right, so let's see. Easy enough fix. It's only a single band and it's on the bottom. So come on out of there. I'm looking at this. That means that this band is on the top. So this band will be on the top of this. All I need to do is go in here, add my band. Let's see if you can even see me. I'm going to go in here, and I know it's supposed to be on the top because that bottom border band has to actually loop around it. So I'm going to put that, come on, I'm going to put that on here if I can. Okay, just, well, come on. You know, it's easy enough to do, but of course I'm on camera and it's not cooperating. So I've got everything off of there, which I did not mean to do, but I think it'll be okay. All right, so I'm going to put that on there. It's on there, and I'm going to take everything back off of my hook and put it back on, hopefully in the way it went. Okay. Usually I would not have to do that, but everything popped off when I did it, so that's fine. All right, so I've got that in there where it belongs. Just still doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, so all I need to do now is go in here, which was that cap band, and grab this and then bring it back. Okay, and I made sure, you probably can't see, but I made sure that it was on the top above this one so that when I looped this one up, it caught it. Okay, so, well, it happened, so I guess it's good that you get to see it repaired. Okay, so let's go in, grab that the border band, bring it back. It should be the last band on your hook. I'm sorry, on your pin. Let's go over here and do the same thing. This one, see how it's getting a little tight there, so I'm going to just do this. And that's because I put a triple cap band there. That's why that's so tight. Okay, go in, grab the next one, loop it back, go in, grab your next border band, loop it back. So do your zigzags. Once you're done with your zigzags, come back and loop your border bands, and then I will be back with you. Okay, so I am back, and the way to take this off is to just lift the sides. Gently pull them off. You don't want to break any bands, so if you're careful taking it off, you should not break any bands. Okay, I always do this. I see people pull their bracelets off of the loom, and it makes me cringe. So carefully pull these pieces off. Now before I get to the end of this, what I'm going to, well, Sebastian, my goodness. There's my little clip. You can use a C. Yeah, tell him, Sebastian, you can use a C-clip, right? So I have my closure band here, so I'm going to reach in through all those bands. I'm going to grab that, well, I'm going to try to grab this closure band and bring it up. Make sure that's exactly the one that I want, and it is. And then I'm going to just use my little safety pin clip that I always use. Okay, so you want to make sure that that is secure before you take it off. All right, so let's finish this up. Carefully take those off of there. Make sure everything is off. Almost done. Okay, and then the last one. Come on. Lots of bands on there. Okay. There we go. Goodness, let me get this out of the way. And here is my bracelet. Isn't that pretty? Very, very pretty. I have, let's see how, I went a full loom length. Okay. To here. And if I don't want it too tight, My wrist is 6.5 inches wide, round. So I could put a C-clip on there. It might be a little snug for me, but actually it turned out pretty cute. Not real sure about the black on the sides, but the white's peeking through, so that should be okay. Yeah, and my beads sat just nice. I don't have to do too much with them. And even putting the silver in there, because you have the silver underneath, turned out pretty cute. So I have beads to straighten, and then I will come back, of course, and show you pictures. But this is the TRIGON bracelet by the Looming artist. Beautiful. And you know, sometimes I was able to put these beads on here. Now sometimes you'll look at a bracelet and you'll think, oh my gosh, there's, I want to add beads, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. If you can figure out how to lay the beads so that when you loop them up, they're not too loose, because these are pretty sturdy in here. They're not going anywhere. And just remember to loop them back up in between the two layers that you had laid, the previous layer and the layer after. I don't even know if that made sense. Okay, so anyway, this is the TRIGON bracelet by the Looming artist. She is on Instagram. Go pop over there, like her photos, give her a follow for me. I am also on Instagram under Lila's Gigi. And if you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe to my channel, and because I have many, many more coming up. And here's the back of this. And I did not ask Andrea if her signature side was the top or the bottom. I just assumed it was the bottom. Hopefully that is correct. So I'm going to fix some bands and be back with pictures afterwards. Thank you so much for watching. And again, if you enjoyed this tutorial and would like to see more, please subscribe to my channel. Take care.